know, there you're looking into the talk we're gonna have today for education. I know a lot of people have seen me online with the consulting business, bringing on board business owners who are coming to give us some good ideas on what is going on. Today is different. Today I'm bringing on a student. We want to talk education. We want to talk school. We want to talk the future generation. So today I'm bringing on the platform Tayon Swift. He's a student at Parkland right now, and I'm going to let him introduce himself. Tayon, welcome on the platform. Go ahead and introduce yourself to our audience.
Howdy, I'm Tayon. I'm Tayon Swift. I'm a 20-year-old freshman at Parkland College. Previously went to the University of San Francisco, but came back to Illinois to pursue some different things and work everything out. So yeah.
Fantastic. Welcome to Illinois. And I know we've been discussing off-site, and you kind of taught me a very interesting story of how you came here. I understand that education is the key for our future. However, the way things are going right now, young people, they don't believe in that. They believe that you can be successful without education. You can be successful without going to college. And they're not wrong, because we have famous people who have been successful not going to school. So now we're bringing you on this platform so that we can have a casual discussion, just a conversation on education. I want you to tell me, I know you mentioned that you are now in Champaign at Parkland College. I want you to tell us a little bit, how did you get there, and do you like school? What's happening? I'm going to give you a few minutes to kind of just talk to us as a student.
I gotcha. So when it comes to all that, I originally, right after high school, went to University of San Francisco in California. However, after a semester, I realized that the tuition was not going to cut it for me. And it's also a situation to where I had to get an apartment, which was also way out of my price range. So then I went from, okay, I'm on a scholarship, I think I can manage this, to a lot of rocks tumbling down at once. And for me, that was my worst case scenario, because I was in some place that I had never been before, and it had gone from me being like, okay, I want to get out of Illinois into something completely new, meet new people, into a situation that became dire, and I had to move back to Illinois. However, when moving back to Illinois, a lot of people think there's a lot of opportunities that you would never get the chance to have or are missing. However, I found out that there's a lot of things that allows you to concentrate on, because although it is still competitive in the sense that you still need experience, it's also a very welcoming environment, which is why I feel like a lot of small towns are looked down on, or at least glazed over, because although Champaign has the U of I, people only think of it as that, when in fact there's a huge music scene that welcome people with open arms, and there's an easy way to start and to talk to people, and open those doors for opportunities that I would not have had if I didn't go to Parkland and start exploring things, and took the time to sit down and figure out what I wanted to do with my life. And so that turned out to be both psychology and music business. So with psychology, I not only got into 2 psychology clubs at Parkland, which helped me a lot with where I want to go, and may not have been able to do in bigger cities, just because, again, there's a lot of people who are also fighting for those spots. So now that I have this experience, I can carry all of that into something completely new and kind of build on top of it, instead of be stuck somewhere and be like, okay, well, that was that. Instead, it's kind of a lot of moving, shaking, and maneuvering. And so sometimes you just have to do that, and school, I feel is one of the best ways to figure that out, because not only are you actively fighting for your education future, but you're also meeting new people that will lead you places that you didn't know you could go. And so through clubs, community, etc., you find so many people who can and will connect with you in ways that you didn't know you could happen. And you end up in the best of places just because you knew somebody who knew somebody else. In college is a lot of that. And so I feel like it's not just the degree, but it's also who you meet along the way of it, which is one of the most invaluable things, because it just gets you places. But yeah.
I like that. Wow, you did package a lot in there. So let me start digging a little bit in what you said. So you started by saying that you were in California at the university there. Even though you had scholarship, you still could not afford it because the school was very expensive. So even though you are a dedicated boy, you want to go to school, you like going to school, but you had a barrier and you just could not move forward because the scholarship was not covering everything, and the cost that was remained to pay was still high. Mm-hmm. So I admire you.
Yes, music business.
Yeah, music business. So now you're doing something that you like, something that you can practice right away off school. Psychology, we need a lot of psychologists. And music business, you can fund business in a way that you did not stop there and say, you know what, it's very expensive, I'm not going to go to school anymore. But what you did find a way to fund another school. They did not give you the scholarship, but the cost of the education was low that you can afford. It doesn't mean it's not a very good school, but it just gives you not just an affordable education, but also education that is practical, because you mentioned that now you're doing psychology and music, all areas. So it's kind of easy to shift. When you have a business degree, you can shift from one thing to another. So I commend you from not just dropping because the cost of the university is very expensive, very high, but finding a way to not only going to school, but finding something that is practical. That is very good. And another thing you mentioned, you said, when you go to school, it's not just for education, but you come across people when you go to these academic clubs where you meet people who can somehow lead you to something that you may pursue after school or something. I want you to emphasize a little bit about that so that we can understand that going to school, it's not just a matter of I have to have all A's, I have to have all B's, and then I'm done and I'm gone. It is a community that you're going to be part of. It is a place where there are skills that you can learn from other people. There's a lot of things. I want you to kind of open the ground there and talk a little bit about the community within an institution.
Absolutely. And so I would say one like the more easily identifiable, and I can't speak, oh my gosh, identifiable things. Like Parkland has a record label that I didn't know about until I took a music class just out of like a lot of interest. It's something that I've always wanted to do, like music production. And so then I was in the class and they were talking about a club that allowed people to get more hands-on experience with it. And so come to find out, that was Parkland's record label. And joining that last semester allowed me to like get a lot of hands-on experience, not only with the process of making music and helping artists like find their way in terms of like artistic direction and their future, like what they wanted to look like. It was also a lot of like figuring out teamwork, how to book, how to just make yourself a presence and like be useful in the space that like a lot of people find intimidating, which it kind of still is, because like working with some people, it's a lot of, it's art, so like it's a specific avenue, and it feels, well, they have a very specific vision, and it's often the most fun part is finding out how to realize that for them or how to add to it and expound upon it. And so I would say it's not only the muscles of the skills of learning how to be in a room and just be a assistant producer or a regular producer. It's also giving me the skills of how to bob and weave and think critically, and not only critically but creatively. And so a lot of that I don't think I would have gotten nearly as quickly or as intensely as I did. Then that allowed me to like gain a lot more knowledge in other areas. But another the club that I joined was the board game club, which a lot of people are like, okay, what does board game club have to do with it? But you meet a lot of people and you get into things. And so then through that, and one of my friends, Cassidy, I was able to like find out about not only this board game club fun, just a way to de-stress, but I found out about the newspaper. And so I gained a little bit more information on that. And now the Perspectives newspaper gives you like a 50% tuition as a scholarship. And so just like sitting down, writing, reporting, photography, anything you want to do in that sense, I also could not have found out about if I didn't have just talk to people and like getting into the community of things rather than just doing my assignments and then leaving. And so there are a lot of clubs that I have joined and plan to join, but right now those are the main ones that I've like fully experienced, and they've given me a lot of knowledge not only about Parkland and how to maneuver around the college experience and get the most out of it that I can, but also being able to grab as many dreams as I wanted to have or like act out, and just be able to do absolutely everything that I wanted to do. And on top of the newspaper, what else was it? Gosh. Oh, being in the newspaper allowed me to like get a job at Parkland, just because like they were like, oh, we see you doing these things and you seem very hardworking, things like that. And so being part of the newspaper allowed me to like get another position within the space, and which allowed me to move to Champaign a lot more easily, because now that I'm here, I already had a job, like essentially like, okay, we would love for you to work here. Even the smaller community of like Champaign allows you to like get to know people and just move around as much as you want to, and as much as you're willing to stretch yourself. So yeah.
That is fantastic. And you brought up something else about working as a student, because I know even though the cost may be affordable, even though the cost may be low, somebody has to pay. Mm-hmm. So we understand that some school may give scholarships, but some school may not give scholarships. They may give like student work. And I believe that's what they gave you with the journal. Is it magazine or journal?
Newspaper.
Newspaper. Okay. So with the newspaper, they gave you a student work, and then they can pay you for that. And outside the school, I believe you do work as well, just like a part-time. Okay. So we can see that you are really dedicated in studying, because you want to do whatever it takes to pay for your school. Scholarship or not, work at the university or not, work outside or not, you want to maximize whatever money that can go through your hands so that you can pay for your studies. And I really commend you for that. So now let me ask you this. Do all your classes are done at the university, or do you take some classes online?
I've taken a lot of classes online. I do love going to university for the more hands-on ones, such as like the music production. But for other things like our anthropology class, one of my psychology classes, and a lot of classes like that, I take online just because it's a lot easier to sit down and do, because I don't always have the time in my day, or like, and with having 2 jobs, sometimes 3, it is sometimes difficult to like find time to like just sit down for a class in the day when I have like a shift like directly before it. And so doing online classes like allowed me a lot of like freedom although it takes a lot of a lot of intention and like sitting down and being like, okay, this is what I'm doing. Like it does allow you to kind of maneuver more ways that fit the mold that you're trying to put it into. Instead of just having to be in classes, you do get to kind of set your own time aside. And it also helps you a lot with time management because, oh my gosh, you learn that very quickly.
Absolutely. Yeah. That is so true. It is very crucial that you have time management if you want to learn online. I'm very happy that you had to you're experimenting both sides of teaching, where you're taking classes online and you're taking classes also at the university. Because some people would tell you, I don't think I can focus with online courses. And is it even more feasible to take classes online? Nowadays, from what you just said, is that it is very interesting to take classes online because it gives you the flexibility where you don't have to go to school to sit in a classroom for 4-6 hours, when you can manage your time to study at your own pace and at your own time, and in between you can go to work, you can do other things that you need to take care of before you can sit down, focus on your studies. So I believe that time management is a key for online school and very successful student like yourself. So yeah, what else can you tell young people who are there? They like, I just want to make money. I don't want to go to school. I've got my high school diploma. I'm okay. I just want to make money. What would you tell them?
I would say that that's valid. I completely get it. Money is very important, and a lot of people don't come from situations that allow them enough, or they feel like enough room to do school, because I come from a family that can't qualify for things like student loans because we just don't have the credit for it and things like that. But I would say that there are a lot of like programs, especially like if you felt like a FAFSA, they like give you a lot of money through the Pell Grant or other means, and like schools are more than willing to help you as long as you talk to them. And so money is one of the things that you can not only get while you're taking school, but also get from the school, because they're more than willing to help. And also, going to school isn't just a degree of it. It allows you to like find your passion of things that you want to do. And so some people want to do construction for God knows how long, and that's okay, because that's what they love to do. But if you're ever unsure about it, or you feel like you're not doing what you want out of life, getting a degree can help with that. And sometimes it's not just a degree. I have a lot of friends who met somebody who got them into a trade, but they wouldn't have found out about that if they didn't go to that college and like didn't join a club or like find out what all the uproar was about. And so with college, it's kind of like investing in your future self. And although I'm not old enough to be like, hey, I did it, here are my facts and figures, like I don't have the numbers for that yet because I haven't been through it. But as far as I've seen other people do, it just helps you increase the amount of money that you can make right now, and also be very competitive in environments that might not want you for one reason or another. And so it's not just stacking money right now, but it's investing in your future self. And I think that's extremely important with all the skills, people you can meet, and the degree in your hands. There are very few places that you can't go that you want to go if you have all of that and you just tried it out. And so I feel like for a lot of people, it might not feel feasible, but I really do implore you to just go for it, see what resources you can find, and do as much as you can to inspire not only yourself to go to college, but your future children, and see how far you guys can go. Because I am the first in my family to shoot for a bachelor's degree, but I'm trying to make it so where the steps that I take can be used for someone else so that I won't be the last. I hope to be the first out of thousands, honestly.
Wow, wow,
And
that is fantastic. That is amazing, Tayon. That is amazing. I like to think that you say one thing is you say investing in yourself. Everything that you're doing currently, you are investing in yourself for a bright future. And that is very powerful. I want the young people who will be listening to these videos, even the parents that are there to sponsor and encourage young people to go back to school. Tell them in these words, invest in yourself. When you go to school, go find something that you are passionate about. And I think that's what you said. Founding an education that you are passionate about. If you are passionate in business, go take business classes. If you are passionate in art, found art classes. Found something that you are passionate about and invest in it. Because when you invest in something that you are passionate about, then the future will be much easier for you to manage. And I believe that nowadays, with the practical education, you don't have to go to school just like the time we went to school. I'm just going to school like everybody. Because everybody goes to the university, I'm going to go to the university. I want you to take a moment to say, why should I go to the university? How do I picture my future? Do I want to be a pastor? Do I want to be a musician? Do I want to be an artist? Do I want to be a CEO? If you have an idea of who you want to be in the future, it's going to be easy for you to kind of sit down and try to figure out the path that you want to take, what type of investment I want to put in myself, which school do I want to go in. And then if you feel like you're not able to put those puzzles together, find an adult or an education agent somewhere who can help you navigate those puzzles so that you are able to find yourself in a school where whether you can go online or you can go in physical brick and mortgage, but do something that will brighten your future. Education is a key, and it's best to study when you're young. It's best to study when you still have strength to go to school. You don't have a lot of things evolve around you, and you can focus on studying. And once you finish, you can jump freely in the world and make money, as much money as you would like to make. So that is powerful. Thank you so much, Tayon, for sharing that. And the second thing that you mentioned was creating path for the future for others. You know, being a pioneer in a family, being a pioneer in a community, being a pioneer in a country, it's something that I've seen young people kind of dropping very easily. My friends are not doing it. Why should I do it? People are not doing it. Why should I do it? No, be a pioneer. Be the first to do something that may be hard for other people. Create a path for others. And I like the fact that even though you found yourself in a place where you are the first one to go to college, you are the first one to shoot for a bachelor degree, you don't drop your hand down and say, nobody has a bachelor degree, why should I go for a bachelor degree? But it motivates you to say, I want to create a path for others. I want after me, if I'm shooting for a bachelor, the one who will come after me will shoot for a master. The one who will come after that one will shoot for a doctorate. And before we know it, we have a line of people who are educated, not only with an associate, not only with a bachelor, not only with a master degree, but getting to a PhD degree. And why not shooting for a Nobel Prize? It's not impossible. It is possible. You know, I always say, people who are getting Nobel Prize, they don't have two brains. They still have one brain. They still work. Thank you so much, Tayon, for coming to this discussion. I am very excited for the future, and I believe that young people will be able to take something from this conversation and expand their future. Right now, Jodapris Christian University is creating a network where we're working with other universities. That is the reason why you see Tayon. He's from Parkland College in Champaign. And we brought him on the platform because we want to excite young generation to go to school, to invest into themselves. So we're working with different colleges, different universities, so that we can bring that excitement to young people so that they can continue education and they can utilize the practical education. So thank you very much for your time. And if you have questions, please feel free to put in the comments or reach back to us.